today from in front of the Brewer Library. On the show, well, if you're from the Richland area, we'll have information for you about a new community organization with a focus on the economy. Well, we'll hear from Beverly Pestle and Sherry Hilleshim about a new Richland area organization called Economic Equity Now. So right now we'll hear what that is about. Well, welcome to our town. I think people will be interested in learning about this new organization, but before we learn about EEN, let's find out a little bit about the two of you. Can you just briefly introduce yourselves for those who may not be familiar with you?
Sure. I'm Beverly Pestle. I'm relatively new to the community. We've owned a home in Little Willow Valley since the mid-'80s, but we weren't able to come up here full-time until we retired. So I've only been here since about 2014, so I'm a newbie.
Okay.
And I'm Sherry Hillesheim. That's the correct German pronunciation. So I was raised on a dairy farm near Muscadet for my first 10 years, moved to Richland Center after that. So these are my roots for sure. And then I took off and went into the military as an Air Force nurse. And then have just returned and glad to be back. So an interesting journey.
Well, the two of you are among the leadership team of this new organization. Would you just fill the folks in on what it is and what it does and what the goals are?
Sure. Many of you might remember last summer you got a postcard in the mail from a group called the Patriotic Millionaires inviting you to join them for a dinner meeting at the Phoenix Center and to hear some information about the economy and taxes. About 70 or so people came to that first meeting. And at those meetings, we heard from a group of that calls themselves the Patriotic Millionaires. And what they are is a group that got frustrated with the tax code. Erica Payne is the organizer of the group. And when President Obama was elected, she assumed that he would go to Congress and try to start working on some tax reform. And he didn't, and she got mad. So she wrote a letter to some millionaires that she knew, and she said, we need to get up to the White House and Congress and start lobbying and telling Congress that they need to fix the tax code because the super rich are not paying enough taxes. So this is a rather interesting group. We've got billionaires saying, you need to tax us more. And so when they talk about tax the rich, because they gave us a book to read about all the tax codes and the things, when they're talking about taxing the rich, they're not talking about taxing the small business person that's doing okay. They're talking about taxing these hundreds or tens of large corporations that are making tens of billions of dollars of profit every year and paying zero taxes. And they're not talking about the folks across the street that have got a bigger house or a newer car. They're talking about those folks that have got 3 homes around the world and a yacht to go with each one. And they're simply not paying their fair share of taxes. And the result is that we don't have an economy that works for everyone. And so that's their big focus. They've been working at Congress trying to get tax reform for many years and getting nowhere. So they decided, we've got to go grassroots. We've got to get more people who understand the economy, who understand the tax codes, and get them working and pushing for a better economy. Because the point that they make is every great country starts with a great economy, and it's not great if it doesn't work for everyone. So the project that they have initiated here in Richland County is their grassroots portion of their project called the Great Economy Project. And so the point of that then is to try to educate people about the economy and about the tax code, and then to create an activated citizen to go out and say, okay, now let's do something about it. Because one of the things that is so frustrating for us in the small communities in the rural areas is that we don't think we can make a difference. But the Patriotic Millionaires and the Great Economy Project says, yes, you can. Because there are more of us than there are of them. And if we can get people to understand the issues and activate them and realize how we need to push our representatives to do what's best for us, then we can change things. And so that's why we have decided that this is really a worthy thing for us to do here in this area. Because we've watched our economy suffer. We've watched our communities be diminished. And there's no good reason for it. Our representatives tell us, I'm sorry, we can't do anything for you. We can't provide better funding for your schools. We can't give you child care. We can't give you paid family leave. We don't have any money for affordable housing. Well, the reason for that is because the tax codes won't collect the taxes that we need. And if we can get that changed, we can have healthier communities. So that's what we're all about, and we have decided that our name in this local area is Economic Equity Now. And so after all of our educational meetings during the summer, we started organizing late in the fall to decide, okay, what can we do locally to try to spread the message and create a group that will help move us toward an economy that works better for everyone. And Sherry can tell us about our group specifically.
Our tagline, I think, is really cool, and it's like, your voice for a fair economy is what we are about. And we have a mission statement and a vision statement. We definitely want to make this economy work for all of us. We deserve that. So it's an okay thing to do. Consumers are the drivers. And so I just think that it's just so exciting that we can be a part of a nonpartisan kind of thing right now to hopefully pull us more together, even though the political situation has totally divided us. But I think, this is an important step in that direction. So I'm really glad to be a part of it. We're committed to meeting our community needs, both in terms of personal volunteerism and in encouraging and electing government representatives who are committed to providing services necessary to maintain healthy and prosperous communities. So I think that kind of sums up where we're at in terms of what we're wanting to do here in Richland County, and I'm really super proud to be a part of it.
So about how many people are involved and what kinds of things do you do?
Well, at the moment, we probably have about 30 folks who have stuck with this and have said, yeah, we want to keep working. And of course, we're wanting that to grow. And so we're going to try to be getting out into the community to let more people know that we're here and what we're doing, and find those folks that we know that are out there, that are really concerned about our communities. They love our community. They know our community needs help, and they know that the economy isn't working for them, and we can make a difference on that. So we are going to be bringing in some of our representatives. We're working now, we have already scheduled 2 of our 3rd Congressional District people that are running. And they will be coming. We'll be holding a town hall where they will present what their ideas are, and people will be able to ask them questions and find out if these are people that actually will represent the values of our community when they go to Congress. So that's one of the things we want to do. We want to give folks a better chance to meet the candidates, talk to the candidates, ask them pointed questions to find out what they believe. We also want to do this at a local level, giving opportunities for citizens to meet some of our local representatives to find out more about how they think they can serve the community and whether that fills the values that we have as rural Wisconsin folks. So hopefully you're going to be seeing us around and hearing from us, and we certainly encourage anyone to join us. There's going to be something for everyone to do, whether that's just painting signs or whether it's going to parades and handing out cards to get our message out farther. But we're working on a variety of different activities that'll just get the message out that we need help in this community. We need volunteerism, which is, we really don't have a lack of that in this area. We've got so many folks that volunteer in so many different areas. But we need representatives in the legislature and in Congress who represent our values. And that's what we need to be working on, making sure that we are putting the right people in those offices to keep our economy going for everyone.
So who can be involved? Can it be young people? Is it a big commitment? Could a high school kid join you?
There are no limits, as long as you can paint. But no, I mean we welcome all voices, and so I think it'll take a community to lift this up so that we can try to make it happen better.
Well, and tax policy is one of those things that when you say the word, everybody kind of gets a headache. But it's really kind of the foundation for how we run our country. How can people, the book that they gave you with the explanation, is that available here in the Brewer Library?
I don't know if it's in the library, but they gave a book to every one of us, and I've just ordered 30 more. So anyone that comes to our meetings, we should have some books available. And it is excellent because I'm a tax idiot too, and I don't want to know about it. I just want it fixed, okay? But this book is so well written and so clear, and it just gives you just a real eye-popping idea of just how incredibly rigged the tax system is to benefit the rich. For instance, a significant number of the millionaires and billionaires in the country now are not people who earned that money. They're people who have inherited that money from someone else. And the reason that they're inheriting so much is because the tax laws has been changed so that they're not paying taxes on hardly any of that. So you have someone here in Richland County who's working every day to make maybe $60,000. That's about the average income in Richland County. So you're working your tail off to make $60,000 and you're paying taxes. But somebody who is inheriting $20 million from their rich daddy is paying no taxes on that. And now they've got that money that they can invest also in tax-free investments that most of the rest of us little folks don't have access to, those kinds of investments. So the whole system, you don't have to understand all the intricacies of it. You just have to understand the absurdity of it and that there's no reason why it can't be fixed.
Now, when people get together at a meeting, what kinds of things go on? Do you have presentations? Do you have activities?
I missed the first couple of meetings, so I must admit, but I am so engaged right now, but there is it can be an education portion to that. We provide a meal, and so it's a time for gathering, and then we've broken up into a few leadership groups so that we can get more organized to make a difference. So that's currently what's happening, and we have a number of people that are just really engaged in doing this, so that's exciting.
Now, how do people find out more about this if they want to join? How would they, is there a phone number, a contact? Can they just stop by a meeting?
They can certainly stop by a meeting, and our next one is next Thursday, February 22nd, 5:30, at the Phoenix Center. But the other thing that people can do if they want to find out more about what's going on here is there are resources online. So if you Google Great Economy Project, you'll find information about the project. You can also Google Patriotic Millionaires to find out a little bit more about the parent organization. But if you go to the Great Economy Project YouTube, you can find there all the educational presentations that were given to us over the summer. And those are all presentations, 30 minutes or less, that have all been recorded, and you can watch them, and so you can pick up pretty much the same information that we did that way. So that's a place to go to find out if the kind of things that they're talking about are the kinds of things that you would value in getting involved in. And if that sounds like a good thing to you, then come to our meetings. Sherry and I are the co-leaders, and we encourage anyone to contact us. My email is real simple. It's just bpestel@msn.com. And so if you'd like to know more, just pop me an email. We also are just getting access to starting our own email in town, and I'm not even sure what the name of it is yet, but that will be up soon. And we also have a Facebook site, okay, Economic Equity Now, Facebook site, so people can go there to get an idea of the things that we value and the things that may be going on. And to be honest, we are just getting started gearing up in terms of activities. We're getting ready to start painting some signs, because we know that in our area there are a lot of folks who don't have time to watch the news, they don't have time to read the paper, and so they're not getting information. So we're going to try to use signs to try to get information out to folks. So all of that's going to be happening. We're working on putting together some handouts, and we hope to be present at most of the parades and festivals, handing out information to folks so they can find out what they're doing, find out if there's something that we're doing that they would like to get involved in, because we can use everyone. And as you mentioned earlier, particularly, let's get the young folks going, because if this economy starts falling apart, they are going to be the ones that suffer. So yes, us old folks, let's try to fix it for them, and young folks get in there and fix it for yourselves, because we have the numbers, we have the power as citizens and voters to fix these things.
You know, the economy, it's something like this big sort of vague thing, but it affects every part of our lives. The quality of our roads, our grocery shopping, you know, all of it. So there's something in it for everyone. Before we close, I'd just like to hear from each of you about what inspired you to become involved in this. What was the personal connection you made to say, boy, I want to do this?
This is a fairly conservative community, and I have a lot of conservative relatives, and so I just feel like this is such a wonderful opportunity to bring everybody together, to work on one goal. And this is the year to do it, because the timing is at hand, before November. So we need to figure out who's who, and I'm on a learning curve, having been in the military. I guess I'm still learning how the local and state and government works, because maybe, I don't know, maybe I was overseas too much, I don't know, but I'm so thankful of my career, and I really value pulling people together for one goal. So I think that's huge.
I think that pulling people together, Florent, is really important. Because if you look at the folks that are coming to our meetings, we're a nonpartisan group. We are not politically partisan. We are focused not on policy, we're focused on values, okay? What are the things that our community needs and values, and how do we get it? And part of that is through volunteerism, and part of that is through analyzing those people that we elect to political office very, very carefully, and finding out, are they going to go to the legislature? Are they going to go to Congress and represent our values? And so one of the reasons that I got involved was I've watched the resources in our community just be diminished and diminished and diminished over the years. And it has hurt our economy, it's hurting our young people. We lost UW Richland, and the reason is because we've elected people who didn't care about our values, and as a result didn't make sure that our tax dollars were going to support the things that we value in the community. We don't have the affordable housing that we need, and that's because we don't have representation in the legislature and in Congress that are making sure that they are collecting the revenues on a fair, equitable basis, so there's enough money to fund the needs. That's what the government needs to be doing, taking care of the needs of the community that the individuals simply cannot manage, okay? We have such incredible volunteerism here, and people that go to fundraisers, okay, and give $10 they can't afford because someone else is in need. But we can't meet our needs that way. We need our government to meet our needs. And the way that the government does that is by equitable taxation. And that means let's stop giving tax cuts to the super rich and the corporations and start making them pay their fair share. We've been paying our fair share all along. We need the super rich and the corporations to join us.
Well, thank you both for filling us in, and we hope that to see you around doing activities in Richland area.
I think you will.
I bet you will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, while we're here in front of the library, it reminds me, have you checked out their new Hoopla, which is a service that lets you access current and recent movies, comics, audiobooks, a lot of things right on your computer or your phone. We hope you'll come back next week and every week to watch Our Town.